So what is direct quotation, paraphrasing and summary? Let's take one example. Anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. Its sale is proof of utility and utility is success. This is a direct quote by Thomas Edison. Now if we paraphrase it, Edison said that he doesn't want to invent a thing which doesn't sell, because sell is the proof of utility and success. And if we summarize the same quote, the successful research must be need-based one. So this is the difference between the three things: direct quoting, paraphrasing and summarizing. There are few more things which you should keep in mind. Put quotation mark, rewrite the text fully when paraphrasing. Don't just rearrange the sentence or replace a few words. Check your written version against the original version. Form your own idea and opinion about the different issue. Compare voices, idea of authors and deduce your own idea and your own voice. And for correcting plagiarism, run plagiarism detecting software, see the similarity report, focus on the portion which shows high % of copying first. The resultant discussion portion must be free from any plagiarism on priority. Why? You can understand why. If your resultant discussion portion is plagiarized, that means your whole idea and your whole research is copied. So you should avoid copying things from resultant discussion portion. And one more thing, introduction is generally giving the background of the research. So chances of plagiarisms are high in introduction part. So focus on the correction. So these are few strategies which should be kept in mind while preventing plagiarism. Now next we will see how to avoid text plagiarism and image plagiarism. So the text plagiarism can be avoided by three ways: by using direct quotation, by paraphrasing and by summarizing. And how you can avoid image plagiarism? So image plagiarism can be avoided simply by recreating the image with a different color, and you can use free to use and share image, so you can take them directly for your use. So we will see them in detail. So moving to avoiding text plagiarism. Text plagiarism can be avoided by effective use of language for better understanding and clarity of content. We must give due credit to the source. Next, we must respect the intellectual property right of the scholars honestly. And care must be taken to cite all the references listed as and when required, precisely as per the style recommended. So direct quoting. What is direct quoting? Direct quoting is a quote of word, sentence or sentences that a writer copies directly by providing a reference. So direct quoting is copying word to word context, and you can use them for the definition and for the unavoidable text. But it's always better to paraphrase or summarize rather than directly quoting. Okay, let's see what are the conditions where we can use the direct quote. For official and legal language, the text which is unique and cannot be paraphrased without changing the meaning, the text which is already clear and condensed, the text creating a particular effect. Say for example, in case of poetry, and in inspiring quote and addressing the special context and author's opinion, prestige and aura. So these are few conditions when we use the direct quoting. Now let's see what care should be taken while using direct quote. Now direct quote, you should take word to word, verbatim copying, and direct quote, if it is more than 3 lines and if it is more than 39 words, then you have to modify it. And use reference as usual. Do not enclose in quotation mark if it is more than 3-line content, and indent the lines by 5 spaces. An ellipsis, that dash dash dash, should be used to indicate the omission of word in between the quote. Square brackets are used to indicate some added text by you in quote for clarification or grammatical correctness. Now let's see where you can use single versus double quotation mark while directly quoting. You should use double quotation mark when you quote material from a source, and if you are also quoting passage from that source that were quoted in the original source, use single quotation mark to indicate that the original source contained the quotation. Next is punctuating quotations. In the system of punctuation used in the United States, periods and commas go inside quotation mark except when you use in text citations. In those cases, periods and commas go outside the quotation marks. So next is paraphrasing. And what is paraphrasing? Paraphrasing is restatement of someone else's idea in your voice. That is paraphrasing. And paraphrasing is not just changing few words. It requires complete work in sentence. So what you have to do? You have to change the word, you have to change the structure of the sentence without changing the content. And of course, never forget to attribute the source and citation is required. Now, what are paraphrasing tools? One of the useful techniques for paraphrasing is to rearrange the sentence without losing its meaning, and it can be done by describing, expanding, or explaining the content as per your convenience. You can also go for breaking the long sentences into smaller to get easy access of the content. So modify the order of content and structure of sentences, and it is done by these strategies. Use synonyms, use different forms of words, change the voice or perspective, modify the order and structure of sentences, and do not look at the original content while writing. Now let's see how synonyms are used. Words or expressions which have similar meaning. For example, use, utility, make, build. So likewise, you can use. Next, best resource for finding synonym is thesaurus. You can use thesaurus in your computer to see the synonym of the word required. And lastly, you should be alert in writing exact meaning of the word, because the contextual meaning may be different sometimes. So you have to be careful. And one more thing, changing words should never be sole method of paraphrasing. It must be complemented with other strategies also.